Welcome, this is News Insights, and on this segment, I have my fellow colleagues here, and we'll be talking about the landowners in Kano that has been given a deadline of January to renew their COO, that's Certificates of Occupancy. Honorable Eli, what can you make of this?
Yeah, I think it's a very good development, and it shows a governor who has the interest of his people at heart, not rushing them. At least January ending is enough time, because every landowner equally should be aware of renewal of CFO, grant rent, and then for a governor to have come up and given them enough notice from now till January ending, it shows a governor that have the interest of his people at heart. Because what I believe is this: if January ending is not even convenient, it means they could gather themselves and approach the state government, to ask for a little extension of time. And then you want your government to develop the state, maintenance of road, light, security, cleaning of the state and other basic amenities. You see, renewal of the CFO is another way of generating money, for the state government to use to develop the state. When you have a house, you need road. When you have a road, the road needs to be maintained. When you have a land or a house, you need light, you need security, for your own comfort. And so your own little contribution, to this development, to a government, an accountable government of Kano State, not of other states that just, you don't know what they are doing with the funds they generate and other things. I think it's a welcome development. If I'm in Kano, I will say thank you to the governor. And then, if you remember, if you go through the news again, you will see the director or the director of land, of Kano State, equally saying that they will do it in such a way that the new bill, the new payment amount will not be too much. So that means it's a government that equally have the interest of people at heart, like I've said before now, and then they know that times are hard, and so they are not just imposing because they are in authority, bill on their citizens, or trying to take over their land, because government can wake up and just say they want CFO renew under 1 week, just to disqualify some people, because everybody may not be able to meet up to take over land. So I think it's a good approach.
Let's hear from Pastor Kingsley.
Okay, I think it's a good development if it's well channeled, well monitored, and well planned. Most of these things have to do with planning and bringing it out. And I also believe it should also take a much longer time. I don't agree that the time they are giving is enough. They should give at least 6 months of grace. Okay. Because now that they have given, I think February or so.
January.
January is too close for a cosmopolitan city like Kano, especially the Kano city itself. Of course, they have other places, but what their major target is the Kano city. So they should give a longer time so that the process will go on from now till that time. Because right now, a lot of people are going to be rushing to their office. Are they set to receive
those people?
Yes. So those are the things you should look at. That's number one. Now, number two, they should also do their financial calculations. How much it will cost them to do this recertification, how much will be gotten from it, and how much will be plowed back. You see, people like to pay taxes and all form of levies by the government, but the government must in turn plow that money back, right? At least 50 to 70% in infrastructural development. When people see infrastructural development, they will put more money into these things that they are doing. They will pay their taxes, they will pay their levies, they will pay their whatever obligations that they ought to do. So this is one of the things that government should do. Then the government also must do what you call a physical planning. Do you understand? Where the streets are well outlined. Do you understand? Every house, for example, that is on a particular a road where a road is going to pass through, they have to compensate the person and move the person out of that place. These things are things that should be done in trying to modernize so many of those things. Lands was done like that before. These lands were as a result of inheritance of families. Now, there's Government Land Act, I think of 1976, that says government is the owner of all land thereabout. So now they're saying recertify, get documents for your house that has been in operation for maybe 100 years, 120 years. This is our family house. Everybody knows. But try and give a documentation so that we can do fiscal planning. Now, this fiscal planning enables for so many things. Like I said, development, security. Do you understand? So that if somebody comes out of this place, you will know who lives in that house. For example, most of the advanced countries, if you move to a new neighborhood, everybody knows that there's a new neighbor that moved into this place. The local county, the local sheriff will know that somebody moved in. Your data will come up, and all that. Most of these things are for security reasons. So I think they should give it a longer time. Do you understand? So that the people can prepare. Okay. They try. I'm not sure they have looked at that the place is going to surge. It's just like the bank say.
They are going to
put
have
your BVN. Do you understand? And we'll give you 2 weeks, or do registration for your NIN. Those things don't. I mean, give a longer period of time. Do you understand? And also make centers available. Not that if I want to do my BVN now, I have to try. Do you understand? I've always told people that. For example, like in the US, these are the people that were copying. We were not like that before. So we always have to talk of how things are done in these developed countries. Every county has a place where they register birth and death. Every county. Just imagine in the FCT alone, we only have 2 places where you can register your birth. You can get your certificate for your passport. You either go to Gwagwalada, which is FCT command, or you go to the headquarters. Do you understand? In the whole of FCT, that means if you are coming from Kwali, you must go to. I mean, it's not.
Let me ask Honorable Eli. He said he would have wished they extended it for like 6 months, not January. And you said earlier that the time given is enough.
I mentioned also that the time is enough, and I said if the people involved here should find it that they needed more time, they could approach the government. I mentioned that.
Yes, you did.
And secondly, he mentioned a lot of things that there should be a plan, of how much expectation of what will come in and how it will be spent. What you may not know is this: in the whole of northern states, with the exception of Kaduna that El-Rufai just finished with, Kano is the most developed among all the whole northern states in the federation. It's not from this government, right from Kwankwaso time. They've been doing things. Kano has been undergoing serious change, development. Both structural roles, human development, and even in terms of security. Unlike when we were growing up, those days after the time of Metasine, when you hear crisis in the northern part of the country today, as at the last time we're hearing of serious crisis, religious crisis, whatever, it was never like that with Kano. So Kano has been using the money they generate plus what they get from the federal for the state. Kano has, if you go to Kano, it's more of a Muslim state, more of a Hausa state. Yet, the few of our people in Kano, in most part of Kano, are relaxed. That is because the government of Kano, not this government alone, for the past 15 years, Kano has been stabilized in terms of security. The security has been on the improve every now and then. And then the development, roads, the kind of roads you see in Kano, the kind of flyovers you see in Kano, there are hospitals and so many other things, you understand? And then even though it's more of Islamic, they have Islamic, Hezbollah, police, whatever again. So I think with all these things we've seen, the Kano governors doing and keep doing and are still doing, that is why I kind of say, anything they have to do to generate more money, you understand the language, this is allowed, it's okay. And they have a governor that have listening ear. Like I mentioned, if by January they feel the time is too whatever they are, I'm very sure from the way the government of Kano have been running so far, there will be an extension. And it's something that to do with the public, with a lot of people. It's not just the main Kano town. We have villages, and Kano has the largest local government, largest number of local government in the whole federation. So definitely, I'm sure the state government also know that 1 month will not be enough, but it's a starting time. I'm sure there will be
it might be
extension.
something that you can extend.
Certainly, everything had always the federal government not explain to us, give us deadline that by the end of this month they will stop the use of the old currency. Have they not extended? Do you understand? But Nigerians are very funny people. If you give them 1 year, I want to believe that 90% of the people in Kano may not start anything about this thing until the last.
That's very true.
So the earlier you start,
It's like the Kano government gives some money to
Onurela.
today
of course,
to
if Kano State government had given me money for the coming Christmas next week, I wouldn't have been here.
What would you have been?
Where will you be?
I should be somewhere preparing for my school.
With victory.
No. See, the joy of Christmas is not about you alone. Within your locality, you could see a lot of. You have widows. We have orphans.
Okay, let's keep it real with Kano.
Exactly.
You see, what we are all are saying about Kano is the fact that not just only Kano as a prototype, what we are using Kano as a prototype. What we are saying is that these things should be planned for. I mean, in a written script, should all be planned for. Think about the people. Think about how educated our people are. Do you understand? How they follow instructions. The reason we have the police, the court, is because people always disobey. They will always disobey. They are what you call deviants in the society. They will always be deviant. I don't know if anybody did sociology. Our professors will always tell you they will always be deviant. So we set for the deviant. People will say, don't mind those people. The voice of opposition will rise up. They want to eat our money. But you see, there's no way you are so good that people will not talk bad about you.
Evil souls.
So what they should do, like I said, plan for the people. If you want to put it in every local government, if you want to put it in every quarter, do you understand? Don't make one office. Everybody come to that office.
No, it's not possible
to do that.
It can't be possible.
No, we don't know. We are not there.
No,
do you understand? We are not there. We are just advising them. Do you understand? That's our own. That's what we do. Do you understand?
So that every local government
should have
Kano,
department where you can go to do your
exactly. Kano as a metropolis should have maybe in Bompai, in Sabongeri, in all those places. They should all have offices where people can go to, and areas also differs. The certification in GROE or in Bompai should not be the same thing in Zaria Road. Do you understand? And all that stuff. So this I think the governor should take.
No, I think it has always been like that.
We don't know. We are just talking.
I was born in Kaduna.
Kaduna is different from
we do a
Kano.
lot of things in Kaduna and Kano.
I schooled in Zaria.
And I know that you don't need to go to one particular local government, to the headquarters alone.
We don't, Eli, we don't know. We are just telling them what is between them. We are advising them what they should.
We'll conclude on that.
And I do hope other states will, take from Kano what Kano is.
And I also hope, let me just mention it here, that these things they are doing is not for political witch hunting. It should be void of that. Should be void of that. Okay. In any state that is being done. Not that we are demolishing these streets. It's not in the system.
Yeah. All right. This is still News Insights. We'll be right back.